Right. So I think everything is working fine.
Yeah.
Perfect. So we are live on YouTube. Hello, everyone. Good evening, good morning from wherever you are joining in. Thank you so much again for joining and learning something new this Saturday. So with me is Josna. Josna, hello. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome
Thank you
to
so much,
this.
sir. Yeah. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. All right, so we are a little bit late today. Sorry about the technical glitch that we are facing, but now since we are live, let's get started soon. With me is Josna. Josna has done her MPharm in pharmacology, and then she's a very passionate pharmacist. And apart from that, she loves medical journalism. So today's session is all about medical journalism. So she'll walk us through what medical journalism is all about, why it is done, how it is done, who's the right profile for getting into medical journalism, and then of course we'll have a lot of Q&A at the end of the session. So if everything is working fine, Josna, are we ready to go ahead? If you
Yes,
want
sure,
to,
sir.
excellent. Do you want to say something about yourself before we go live with your slides?
Nothing, sir. Yeah, nothing, sir. I would just say thank you, everybody, for joining the session and hope might walk you through. I'll walk you through medical journalism. I hope you will
Absolutely.
understand about medical journalism, know about medical journalism. That's all. Yeah.
Absolutely. Perfect. So let's get started. Thank you. Let you may share the screen, and I hope everything goes well from now.
Yes, sir. Uh,
Yeah, excellent.
yes, yes. Okay, yes. Good evening, everybody. So, as you know, today's topic is about medical journalism. What is medical journalism? Since both medical and journalism, both are a huge ocean of topic. It's a huge discipline, uh, and both combining together makes it still huge. So I'll walk you through what is about walk you through the medical journalism and what it is, how it is done, and who who are there behind the journalism. What is published online or anywhere out in the media. So yeah, let's get started. Yes. So first thing is, what is medical journalism? So first thing is, as I've told, this is two huge discipline, medicine and journalism. So put together, we know what is journalism, right? We know it like it is reporting information, reporting whatever is going on currently. So that is journalism. So putting together medicine in that, medical field in that, reporting medical journalism, reporting the latest medical research or news trends in the to the public. That is what is medical journalism. So how a journalist work normally a journalist work reports the daily reports is presented the similar way the medical journalism works where the medical research about medical trends going on the news that which is going on so that is put out to the public. So next comes is why medical journalism, why it is required. So often we know that journalism makes things like wherever we are out in the world. Now I'm in Bangalore and somewhere Bangalore something is happening. I get to know the news, right? So similar way the medical journalism works. It bridges the gap between here the scientific community and the public. So most of the time the medical information or medical news, medical researches are often published in journals. The medical journals, we have Lancet, we have BMJ, lot many journals we have got, and those are published there. And it takes time as a normal layperson to understand what it is about. Like when I'm reading a journal as a layperson, I might not be understanding the topics. understanding what the medical terms or whatever it is. So here comes the medical journalist who helps you out, the public, the general public, to understand what is going on or what is going on, what is the medical research that is going on. He puts it out. He is the bridging gap between the medical community and the general public. So how can you work? You can work as a beginner. You can work through internships. You can gain experience, then work as a full timer or freelance. So it depends how you work and where the news goes out. It goes on the print media. It might be newspapers. It might be any kind of media, uh, televisions, radio, and mostly nowadays websites, the social media, which is booming out very much. So these information, the medical information, goes out in there. I hope this is understood. Like this is the basic, like the very beginning of medical journalism. So if you understood, just put the thumbs up to me so that I can continue. Yes. Yeah.
As participants, you can interact through the chat box. Just say yes, no in the chat box, or maybe put in the thumbs up sign. Yeah, go ahead, Josna. We are good to
Yes.
go here.
So next is the key characteristics. What are the key characteristics involved? So once you are a medical journalist, or what is the purpose of being a medical journalist? The first thing, purpose. So as I've told you, medical journalist works as a simplifier where you mediate between the medical and the scientific news to the non-specialist. So you are diluting the complex information without diluting or without diluting the quality. You dilute the complexity of the information, not harming the quality of the information. So that is what the medical journalists do. Second thing is inform the public about latest medical research and breakthroughs. So once you are breaking down this medical information, this where is the output? The output is the general public, the target audience as are either the medical professionals or the general public whom you are putting out the information about the science and research. So the distilled nugget of information often ends up as the headline of the story. So as I've already told, now any information about clinical trials, the whole information cannot be put out as a in the public because not everyone knows about or understands about all these medical jargons or whatever is written. So you are identifying the very concise information, very important information. That becomes the headline of the information, and the person who is reading it or watching it knows that okay, this is the thing. What I have to. What is the gist of information in general? In a simpler way, the gist of information is you are putting out the gist of information. You are summarizing the whole uh, research paper into a smaller and a very what is it, concise way. So this is the purpose of medical journalism or the medical journalists. Next is the challenges. What are the challenges you face as a medical journalist or uh, in journalism? So first thing is the knowledge gap. Usually I am, as a pharmacist, my knowledge level might be a different way, or, a doctor or a medical professional writing it might be a different way. The understanding might be different way. But when you're writing it to the public, you have to understand your target audience because you're writing to the public. So it is always important to, it is sometimes becomes difficult for us as a medical journalist to dilute it down and make it easier to the audience. So that may be one of the challenges, but that can be improved because when there is challenges that has to be faced. So this also can be we can bridge the gap between this. Next is lack of reliable resources. This is when you come to the online media. This is, I think there are a lot many websites, there are research papers, journals that are available. There are free journals, there are paid journals as well. That becomes one of the difficulty when you're writing medical journalism that the resources, lack of reliable resources. Another important thing is when you're writing certain topics, like now I'm writing about uh, a neurology topic or something. I am not a expert in neuroscience or somebody, you know. I research about things and then I compile things and then I write. But sometimes, if you get a quote or a direct information from the subject matter expert, that means the doctor or a neurologist, then it becomes very easy for us as medical journalists to put out the information. That becomes real time information to put out in such. So that is also a challenge, because we have to contact the like subject matter expert, we have to communicate it, and then we have to put it out. Next is time constraints. Now, as a medical journalist, we're not just writing about medical research or medical information from the journals. We are writing about lot many things. The current anything that's happening, like any medical negligency or any medical rules or regulations that which has brought, or anything regarding. Now, example, now the budget is done. So, what information from the budget, medical related information from the budget is there? So that is what is the real time information. So we have time constraints. Few information has to be delivered within 24 hours, within the time frame. So this works similar to the journalism. Editorial and commercial pressure. So sometimes things happen is like the editorial. I would not blame this. I can't tell this in such. Sometimes we go for sensationalizing the information rather than accuracy. But this not should not be done, because once one misinformation goes out in the public, because nowadays whatever the information is there, whatever the medical journalism you are telling, the information is there, it is out in the social media or the public, it's in the public eye. So any misinformation you're writing or putting out as a publisher, that becomes a risk for you and to the community as well. So it is important to prioritize accuracy over the sensationalism. Next is space constraints. As I've already told, I think the first thing what I told is about the journals. The when we read a journal, we never go to to read a whole journal at first. We read the abstract. So here, as a medical journalist, we have to do the abstract by reading the whole medical, whole journal. And the abstract must be understandable, easy to understand to the public. It's not We are not writing just to the medical personals or the professionals. We are writing to the public, so it has to be the abstract what we make must be, you know, uh, you know, easily accessible to the general public, or the general public whom you are writing, or the target audience whom you are writing. So this becomes one of the challenge, because we have to write whole lot of information, concising the information and give it a without compromising the quality of the information, compromising the complexity of the information. We have to put down all the information right in, I think, 1,000 to 2,000 characters. There is a difference between words and characters, I suppose. So this there is a limited space constraints when you come to medical journalism. You are putting out big, uh, huge information in a very simple way. That's the challenge. But all these can be faced just by, I think, you when you work on it, when you work on things, this all challenges can be faced. So as I've already told you, the information what you write should be easy to understand, because it is you as per the target audience whom we are writing to, easy to access. The information should be easy to access. So whatever am I writing, it should be easy to understand to the general public, and it should be easily, they should understand it easily. Avoiding the medical jargons. So if you're adding medical jargons, you have to define the medical jargons, what you're writing, what it is about. You have to define things. And next is accuracy. This is, I think, very, very important when you're writing, or when you're writing it to the public, or whatever you're putting out in the media or in any source of media. It might be newspaper outlets, websites, or anything, because one misinformation can create a huge buzz around the social media or outlets, any outlet. So it is very important as a journalist. I think this is what is that ethical responsibility of the journalist to put out the accurate information, verifying, fact checking, everything has to be done. Next is, what are the key skills that a medical journalist should have? So first thing is adherence to the journalistic principles, ethics and principles. As I've already told, uh, since we are combining two huge, what is that, uh, discipline, that is medical and journalism. So we have to understand that any misleading information uh, can create a big, huge hassle to the where you're working in or which publication you're working in. So we have to select and you have to select, you have to write, and you have to publish the newsworthy information by fact checking, researching the accurate information so that the accurate information goes to the public, not the misleading information. Because nowadays, this is happening huge where the misinformation is going on. It might be once to the media, and it goes and circulates and circulate, it gets getting circulated and circulated, so it creates a wrong notion or myth around people about anything. So it is very important for the journalist to understand this and to adhere to the journalistic principles. Next is a clear understanding on medical content and terminologies. So, as a medical, journalist, you have to know a slight info, like you should be knowing about medical content and terminologies so that you can easily write the information. When you can put it out easily, when you know the things, you can put it out easily, or the output might be good. So it is important. Next is fact checking. As I've already told, the journalistic principle, fact checking is important. You have to, there are multiple resources once you select a topic about on anything you are writing. So there are multiple resources available. So go through the multiple resources, understand it, and so that you can give a balanced perception or balanced information about from the all the sources. Next is knowing your target audience and avoiding the medical jargons. So most of the time, uh, I think it will be a repetition if I tell the same thing. That is what is medical jargon should be avoided. What the medical terms? I am not telling that all the medical terms, because most of the time, few of the times, you cannot avoid medical jargons because you have to define that. So when you can't avoid medical jargons, define it, explain it in a simpler way so that everybody can understand. So that is the key skill. Next is language, grammar, formatting, compilation, interpretation, and referencing. So this also is a what is that skill that which when you're writing, as a medical journalist, because your language matters, your grammar, your formatting style. So the way you write, that matters. So it is important how you interpret a huge medical research article, and how do you write it engaging way, because you're writing as a content writer or as a medical journalist. So how do you write it, that also matters. This last point, I think this goes for every what is that role or every job we do: time management and adhering to the deadlines. Since there are times where we are uh, what is that reporting current news, that is what's happening today or tomorrow. So this today what's happened, anything that has to be published within 24 hours. So adhering to the deadlines, so this matters. These are the key skills. I hope everyone is there and is understood on this. Give me a thumbs up so that yes. Okay, next is types of medical journalists or journalism, what you do. So next is for healthcare professionals. Uh, so this comes has the feature in peer-reviewed journals, targeted, where there is a targeted and technical insights has to be produced, or uh, has to be, the output should be in a technical way. This is for the healthcare professionals. Next is to the general public, where we are putting out in the social media outlets, focusing on engaging and relatable medical stories. So here we're making it engaging and so that people might read it and people might understand it. So next, coming to what are the articles that are covered? What are the articles that which are covered in as a medical journalism? So first thing is health news. There is reports in medical breakthroughs that comes as research breakthroughs or research articles, issues such as medical malpractices, anything related to health reports. If there is any malpractice that is going on, any new regulation has come up, any new health schemes have come up. So these all are then public health issues, wellness tips. All these are reported in medical as a health news articles. So it might be a one plus article, has a original article. You write it on your own, or it might be an opinion piece where you are interviewing or you are taking a quote from a medical professional so that it uh, supports your news, whatever you have covered. Next is blogs, informal and engaging content on health, lifestyle, and general wellness. So this also is like you are any topic that you take related to health, lifestyle, nutrition. Since it's booming area, nutrition, lifestyle. So you take a topic and you write on it, you research on it. First thing is research, and then comes write on it, compile the information, write it down, and make it engaging and present it to the audience. And when if you're referring, obviously you are referring to some journals or any articles, give the citations to them. If you're asking a quote, now if you're writing anything about nutrition, you're asking a nutritionist quote, or you're asking about, you're seeking advice from a subject matter expert, then do not forget add their quotations and give credits to them as well. Next is feature stories. These are in-depth articles on specific health and related topics. It might be human stories, case studies, or inspiring lives. You are writing case studies, case-based health news, or you are interviewing any medical professional or you know personal who is a subject matter expert, I would say in general. So you are interviewing. So these are all the news that which are covered in medical journalism. So I think the main thing is that there are different types of articles covered. The main thing as a medical journalist that you have to research it, fact check fact check it. You have to understand whom to credit when. If it's original article, if you are taking try taking quotations, quotes from people, contacting the subject matter expert. It will be a great help for your, article so that it gives weightage for your article. So here are the few examples that I'll be showing you that how the medical journalism, how people cover the stories. So here comes a farmer refuses to wash hands after spraying pesticide dies after eating dinner in UP. So this is something, pesticides, related to medical journals. It is a current news that which is, that happened somewhere and we are collecting it. Next is US CDC recommend fastest testing for bird flu in hospitalized patients. So this is some, from US CDC, uh, the disease control. The information has been put out. Next, is plastic surgery safe during cancer treatment? Uh, Bad babies videos spark debate. So another thing is there are a lot many things that's going on social media, and you can put the social media information, you can embed social media information into your article uh, by researching it, fact checking the information, what is it true or not. After that, later on, you can really you can put it out in the news outlets. So this is one example for that. Next is eight psychiatric disorders share the same genetic cause. This is a study-based article that which is written here. It is India's first indigenous robotic surgery system launched at Kokilaben Hospital. So this is something research, that's current, whatever the one surgery has happened, and you're writing on it. Launch, that's happened. You're writing on that. Scientists discover potential blood test for asthma diagnosis and severity. So this is another. So this is recently, I think, 1 2 weeks back. Legendary cardiac surgeon Dr. K.M. Cherian passes away at 82. So these are the news. Sometimes has to be, these kind of news has to be, what is that, covered within 24 hours, because these are current news, that has happened. So, how can you relate all this? Next is a relaxing or the risky effect of silent stroke. So you can see how the headlines are there, how the pictures are there. So visualizing the information is also important so that it can be appealing to the viewer or reader. So these are the different kind of articles that are covered, where there are maybe study based, there is a current article, there might be a launch about any medical device or medical discovery. So these all compiles. These are the things, or a medical job. This is uh, what is that? Uh, uh, the story is covered by a medical journalist and which are put out in the media. And sometimes it happens to be that how do you connect a medical information towards news? So you can first, I can take example of this legendary cardiac surgeon, Dr. K.M. Cherian passes away at 82. So first you can write the current news, what's happening, that he passed away, that you can write. And then you can write about his legacy, what he has pioneered. Pioneer India's first bypass surgery, fastest bypass surgery was done in 1987, I think so. Yeah. So these things, can be, you can connect the information and the story, and you can write. So this is what medical journalists do. So next is types of stories that which are covered in as a medical journalist. One is medical research and breakthroughs, public health issues, policy and regulations, health disparities and equity, ethics in medicine, wellness and alternative medicine, lifestyle and preventive health, technological advances, pharmaceutical industry, medical education and careers, human interest and patients, global health. So these are all the uh, what is that, topics or the stories that can be covered. So coming from medical research to public health issues, policies and regulations, if there are new policies, if there is any new schemes that is coming out,
Josna, any issues? We're not able to hear you. Hey, Josna, you're back. Again, you have to connect with uh, or the microphone on your phone. Is there any issue with the internet? Participants, please stay tuned. We are just facing a little bit of technical glitch. We'll be back. Meantime, how has the session been so far? Please put your comments, put your thoughts as comments in the session, in the chat box. Is the session useful, informative? Let me know. So far, yes. Yeah, yeah. Now the screen is visible just now. You may try unmuting also. Let's see if that works.
Yes, sir. Yeah, hello.
Yeah, yeah, perfect. You're back.
Yeah,
All right, participants,
yes,
thank you
sir.
so much for the patience. And yes, we are
Sorry.
back. Yeah, that's okay. Technical challenges are part of life.
Yeah. Okay. So I was telling about the medical, types of stories that which is covered in medical journalism. So first thing is medical breakthroughs, the research, what's happening. Next is about the public health issues, if there is any public health issues, policies and regulations, if there are new policies that is coming up or any schemes that is which are coming up. So it has to be put out to the media or put out to the public. So that has to be done. So the newspaper agencies do this as a part, but in medical journalism, as newspaper is also as a part of the medical journalism. It has the outlet as well. So when you're putting out in social media or not social media websites, social medias, it becomes really easy for the public to know about it. Then ethics in medicine, wellness and alternative medicine, lifestyle and preventive medicines, preventive health, technological advances, pharmaceuticals and industry, medical education and careers, human interest and patient care, global health. So, patient stories and global health. So, this is like, if there is any technological advances that which is going on, or any pharmaceutical, if there is advances in pharmaceutical industry, if there is any drug that which is approved or any uh, withdrawal from the market has any drug is withdrawn from market. So this information has to be gone to the public, and that is the work of the medical journalist to cover the stories and put out in the put out to the public. So this is all about the stories which are covered by the medical journalist. Next is the goals what's there. The first thing is to support the highest standard of reporting, writing, editing, and broadcasting in healthcare journalism for the general public and trade publications. So, as journalist, you are, you have to keep up the standards of reporting and reporting the accurate information, writing it, editing it, and broadcasting it. So that is what the goal a as a medical journalist or a publication house has on its own. Next is to raise stature of healthcare journalism in newsrooms, industries, and public health as a whole. So you have to create an awareness about medical journalism or healthcare journalism in newsrooms. So initializing this also helps to you know so that people know about medical journalism. Next is to advocate the free flow of information to the public. So this is also very important because whatever you're writing has to reach to the public, the target audience. So it is very important. It might be any medical advancements, any dispel myths or misconceptions that which is there, any medical malpractices, shortcomings of the healthcare system. So everything has to be reported, and all the information has to be freely flown or freely gone to the public. Next is to promote understanding between journalists and source of news about how each can be best, how each can best serve the public. That is the journalist and the source of information, source of news. That is, they have to go in hand in hand. So when it that goes, then the best news and the accurate news goes out in the public. Next is developing vibrant community of journalists because as I've interned and I know around who are writing content, there are a whole lot of there is a big community of medical journalists working back there. There are lot many people from life science. There are doctors from different branches. It might be dentistry, it might be gynecology, it might be neuroscience. Everyone writing, writing about the medical advancements or the niche which niche which they are in. Like if a medical, if a the neurologist writes about the the neurological terms and the information. So depending they write about it. So there is a big, huge community of medical journalists working hand in hand to put out the, you know, the better and the best information to the public. And creating a community of journalists creates a connection between journalists as well. So it creates a, you become open minded, and to know, about people, how they work and how my work differs from others. So it's a great community. Next is to advocate for the improvement of professional development opportunities for journalists who cover any aspect of health and healthcare. So when you're in any kind of field, there must be room for improvement. There must be room for uh, upskilling. So there must be, the publication houses or you yourself has to have to upskill the things, upskill your writing, editing, or you know the upskilling things comes. So it, when you upskill, then the whole community of journalists or the community gets aware or the upskills their terms and has in the best care, best healthcare news can be put out to the public. So next big question is, who can become the medical journalist? I think I don't know who have joined, but there might be medical journalists or medical writers or students who have joined. So there might be questions about how and who can become a medical journalist. So here is an answer. So anyone who is having a technical knowledge on medicine, pharmacology, drug safety, statistics, guidelines, ethical issues, and general knowledge. So uh, so anyone who is having the general, um, knowledge on medicine, pharmacology, drug safety, guidelines. So this personal can be a medical journalist having knowledge on medical terminologies or medical information can become a medical journalist. Subject matter experts, if an person is having a strong hold on a certain topic. So as in I've told that there is a lot many uh, you know uh, doctors, there are life science people, there are pharmacists, there are nurses. Lot many of them working the backhand as a medical journalist along with their profession. So they become the subject matter expert here. Now, if you are passionate about the specialized topics on healthcare systems, or then you can be a medical journalist. If journalistic skills, if you have the journalistic skills, you can convey the information, as in you know output the information. So through internships, traineeships, you can be a medical journalist. Alternative path, if you are interested in science, medicine, and you know without being a doctor, you can be a medical journalist, but you are not supposed to give your you can you're not supposed to define things like, you have to research, collect information, and you're putting it out, not yourself defining. Because when you want something to define, then you go for subject matter experts, you go for quotes. So that helps you a lot to give a weightage to the the article you're writing. So in general, the most preferred ones are the life science students or life science background, because they know about medicine, they know about medical terminologies, and back in everyone comes into those who want to learn, those who are specialized in science related topics, then they can be a medical journalist. Give me a minute, I'll come back. I'll be back once a minute.
Yeah. So meantime, participants, how's the session so far? Do you have any questions? You can put in the chat box. I'll read out the questions for you to Josna, and Josna will be back and respond to the questions. Informative. All right. How about others? Are you liking the session? This Saturday sessions, we try to create, have these sessions so that all of us can learn more about medical writing and medical journalism. All right, so stay tuned for more updates and more sessions coming this month. Again, we'll have one more session on 15th of this month where we'll try to use AI for our career growth and professional growth. And again, on 22nd, we'll have one more session on medical writing. So stay tuned. Yes, Josna, are you back?
Yes, yes, sir. Yeah,
Perfect. Let's get started.
yes. Next is the sources. So, sources in the sense where your information is going out, like which is the media that which your information is going out. That is first is the newspapers. So, as in if you see, there are medical columns, in newspapers. So, medical journalists write about it, and there are opinion-based medical, opinion-based information that is from the from a doctor or from a subject matter expert. Next is consumer print publications. You might have read these at least Reader's Digest. You have read it. I think many of them might have read it. So, so this information, the medicine related information, is written by medical journalists, and it might be popular science, psychology today, modern healthcare, uh, everyday health. So these are the sites where print publications where the information goes out. So there is online media outlets of these as well. Radio and television, yes, these also, you can find it. The television also, you have a medical, separate session on medicine, on medical related session. So this is also a medical type of medical journalism. Next comes websites. So you have lot many websites, lot many media agencies, medical journalism agencies out there who are putting out the information. You can, if you're just if you Google and see any information, you have in YouTube, there are lot many media channels or media outlets where medical journalism is put out. There is website, there are lot many websites, so you can just check it, like if you put out any information on anything, you get the ocean of searches, ocean of sites you get. So back there, medical journalists work. So next is question, like I told, like who can work and what are the where your information, or when you're working, where it goes. Next question comes like how to get started. So so as the name medical journalism suggests, you need both sound knowledge on basic journalistic skills as well as medical knowledge as well as basic journalistic skills. So medical knowledge is important because you're writing about medicine. Journalistic skills, it yeah, you might not be coming learn you might not start as a journalistic trained personnel, but once you get into any kind of media agency or internships, then you will certainly learn how to write and how you have to maintain your decorum of writing. Good research skills and clear writing styles are essential. Yes, this is important because uh, good research skill, because you are writing to public media. You have to be alert on what you write, what you search, what you write, and what you publish. So it is important. Clear writing style is essential. It should be easy to understand. You are not putting out to limiting all the medical jargons, technical jargons. Uh, Next is internships. You can take up internships at editorial offices during your studies and get tips, or valuable tips from the professionals. So this can work. Yes. And another thing is that when you're studying, also you can take internships, since you have, you can learn the things from, there are agencies, or there are agencies who give internships to students as well. So if you are interested in such kind of, then you can take up internships and you can learn about medical journalism or writing. You can improve your writing. uh, those who are interested in medical writing, so if you start by this, then maybe you can understand what medical writing is. There is difference between medical journalism and medical writing, but you can start as a career start you can start from this. Next is build your knowledge base. So this is important. It's not restricted to medical journalism. It's just it's it's universal. Educational background and specialized courses. So if you have life science as a background, so you can get started. If you are interested in taking up specialized courses, that's also possible. Next, develop strong writing skills. Practice writing. So, practice writing in a sense, sometimes it becomes difficult because if you're not understanding, if you do not know how medical journalists write, it becomes difficult. But once you get do, certain internships, you can understand how the, how medical journalists write and how do they research, how do they collect information, from where do they collect information. So this helps. And later on, if you want to continue, you can do it as a full time, or if you can turn into a freelancer. You know, so that also works. Learn SEO and content writing. So it is important because as I've told, you search one information and there is a ocean of articles coming up on the Google search. So if you want your article to be up, then you SEO optimization, the keywords research, this has to be done. Experiment with formats. So once you get into medical writing or anything, into publication house, they have their own you know, site or where they write and where they publish. So, for example, if you check in Medium, there is a site called Medium where you can write articles and can publish. So there is a lot many formatting skills where you can, headings are there, subheadings you have to write. You have to, if there is any very important thing that you can make it as, single quote, double quote, you can make it bold. You can make it, make it visible much, make it visible, and you can use pictures, related pictures, so that people might understand it easily, the information what you have written. It might be visually appealing to them, as well as visually they can understand what you have written. Next is stay updated on medical trends. So this is also important so that you can understand the medical, you can write about, you can research and write about medical information. Next, pursue internships and entry level roles. Build a portfolio, start a blog, freelance work. So if you start interning, then you can start blogging on your own. You can start the freelancing work as well. Since it comes with pros and cons, but if you are, you know, confident about starting a blog, or you can do that. If you are interested and if you are confident about starting a freelance work, then you can do it. Network in medical journalism and space. So this is also very important. So once you get into medical journalism, you get to know many people. You get to talk to many people. You get many opportunities. So talking about this network in medical journalism, I have to mention that this opportunity which I got was through medical journalism. My internship only. So I contacted Manoj sir for interviewing him, and back, I got it back this webinar. So he told me to conduct a webinar on medical journalism. So networking works everywhere. So you get new opportunities, you get to learn, you get to meet people, meet and greet new people. So this is one, good aspects of medical journalism. Leverage your expertise. So once you are into anything, if you are interested to leverage or upskill your skills, that is a plus point for you. So always try upskilling your skills, whatever you have got. So next is after getting started, where are the resources where the medical journalist or where you can read the uh, research about or write about. For research, we have PubMed, the Lancet, BMJ. There are a lot many other journals as well where you get information. You can go to FDA, WHO. There are if you're wanting to write about medical regulations or policy, there is government official websites where you can check and you can get a lot many information. Uh, that which is health related informations from there about schemes or any rule or regulation that which is recently come up, or so this information can be done. Next, for writing, there is Grammarly and Note WordPress. So if you want to improve your writing, improve your you know language base in writing, so Grammarly works. I think this is Grammarly is well known. You can use that. Visualization and images. So I have already told that you know you visualizing whatever to write is very important, so that the person reading it might understand. Uh, while he reads, he can understand the image you put can be, he can understand visually. So Canva is there, Tableau is there, Wikimedia Commons, Pixabay. These are, Wikimedia Commons, Pixabay, these which gives you duty-free images where you need not, these are not duty-free images. If you want to, then you can check from these Wikimedia Commons, Pixabay. Next is analytics. Good analytical analytics. This is SEO. This you have SEMrush and other analytics. SEO optimization. I'm not so well known with the SEO, so I will not touch it. But SEO is important when you're content writing. In content writing, it is very important. So these are the resources and tools where a medical journalist or in a writer or content writer most of the time uses, and this is the go-to resources. Next is the types of articles covered. I would say in during my internship, what are the articles I covered? So these types of articles covered, this differs from agency to agency, and it is not restricted that only these kind of articles are covered. There might be, if you work in different agency, maybe they cover differently. So it depends how where you work. So there is original work based on any topic or any research going on. So here is a topic. It's National Toothbrushing Day. Avoid a plague test robe. Brush it off today. So this is the one top article written by a dentist, and so you know she have given her information based on her specialization, and she have added quotes as well. Next is untangling the mystery inside uncombable hair syndrome. So this is one original work that is based on a syndrome that which is written. This is so these informations this is the original work that which is done. Next is opinion based in the sense now a subject matter or a professional is the for example, if it's a gynecologist or if he or she is, you know, a dentist, so they are well versed in their, profession. So they write about a, opinion, as well as they uh, ask for opinions from the fellow professionals as well. So, for example, here you can see from white coat to patient gown, are doctors the best or worst patient? So, by the title only, you can understand that who it was written, whom it was written to, and who has written it. So, doctor has written it, and he or she have asked opinions from the fellow doctors to give a quote for this. So, these are the opinion pieces that we write. Next is rehash, this practice of recycling and rewriting the existing content. So there are lot many information, studies or studies going on. So these are the sorry. So those information can be recycled and rewritten. So that is also done by the medical journalist. So the existing content might be you see a content in one resources, but as a medical journalist, it's your responsibility that you research from different resources. So if it's in on media, then it might be sourced in or it might be covered by different media outlets as well. So you have to research all the media outlets. You have to get maximum information. If there are case studies, you can embed case studies. If there is any thing on Twitter, on Instagram, any videos are there, technical videos are there, you can embed them and you can make your content, as attractive or as appealing as possible. So here, walking fast may reduce risk of metabolic disease study. This is a study. Then man wins 70,000 euros after medication triggered compulsive gambling. So this is the, news based on medication, misinformation, So here, a certain topic is connected to certain medication, and they have written what medication it is. You can write what medication it is plus what are the side effects that which are involved, and what is the medical negligency that which is caused. So everything can be covered and be written. So this is what rehash is. Next is doxcopy, or this is also called interview based article, where you're interviewing a personal subject matter expert or a medical professional, and you're getting output from it. So I had a very good opportunity of interviewing Dr. Rucha Arun Sepe. She is a community physician, as well as she has her own NGO. She is mainly focused on mental health issues. So when you write about, or when you work as a medical journalist, you get to know many things. I would say there is one topic, yes, wires. So news agencies or services that reports news reports, updates, and article from media outlets. Yes. So any news wires are like these are the what is that, news agencies which have already covered the news. You are just what is that, copy pasting the news, and you are giving credit to the original article, original agency. So this happens when the publication house has a subscription to few of the news channels or news articles. So this happens like that way. So everything depends on the agencies where you're working in. So uh, as I've told the types of articles covered, I would tell you that you know what benefit, what did I get from this or this internship is that I got to know about things which I did not know. It improved my researching skills and my reading skills, where I was sitting, I was reading the articles, I was understanding it, and then I was putting it out and analyzing the things, that what information should be added and what not. So newsworthy information, it you can't put all the junk into the article when you're writing for the you know when you have a space constraints. You have to understand what is noteworthy and what is important, that has to be added. So you improve your interpretation skills as well. And next is you improve your communication, because there was an interview based article that was published. So you get to communicate with the medical professional. You increase your medical what is that uh, communication, as well as the networking. So this is the what is that my experience on writing these articles or interning in in the agency which I worked in. Next is the tips for investigating a story. So while you're writing a story, what has to be kept in mind? So first thing is research on what you are writing. So when you're selecting a topic, uh, research on that whether it's noteworthy or whether it's newsworthy to be published outside. So understand it, and never take press releases, corporate publication, newspaper, magazine articles at face value. So it is like you have to take your time to research and understand what it is, and then go for writing and then publishing. So publishing work will be done by the what is that, the publishing agency, but the previous work, researching on it and selecting the topic and researching on it and writing on it, it's your work. So you have to be well aware. Next is establish connection with the scientific society and association. So if you have got connections with scientific society and association, it works, it helps you a lot for, it might be for quotes, for your articles or interacting with them. It's nice to build a network connection. Next is get the background on your story. So whatever you're covering, get the background on the story. So when you're interviewing people, ask questions, make an engaging conversation, make it engaging. So always get an independent expert comment. So it is important if you are writing on specific topics, uh, you know, it is important to get a quote, if a good quote from the expert, subject matter experts. Yes, next, learn communicative skills for fluent and digestible dissemination of technical health language. So this is improving part, I would say, because when your communication skills gets improved, your writing skills improves, and the interpretation skills improves, as well as your article or whatever you're doing interview becomes an good one and a pleasing one. So whatever technical technical information you're putting out to the public, that also that reflects in your language or communication. So when you're reporting any statements, the statements must not be reported as facts. So when you're using quotes from something, someone has said this, so use specific quotes, references. So when you're writing it. So where is the different fields of activity of medical journalist? That is where the medical journalist works. First is work in editorial departments of medical journals. So in editorial department has a medical writer, content writer, copywriters. So they work. Then articles for non-medical professionals in print and online media. So they work there as well. Where no non-medical professionals, in the sense it might be any agency which is putting out all information, all news inputs, as well as health informations. Or it might be any print media. It might be newspapers, outlets, where the medical journalists also work. TV reporting and multimedia content. So this is also gaining, TV media, we have seen TV reporting of information, we have seen multimedia content. You can see through YouTube, there are videos, interview videos, you know, any media outlet interviewing a medical professional. So there are also medical journalists to work. Next is public relations, working for the pharmaceutical industries. So this is the places where the medical journalists work. So, what are the pros of being a medical journalist and what are the cons? Cons, rather than cons, I would say challenges of being a medical journalist. Pros is diverse subject areas. As a medical journalist, you're not now, as a pharmacist, I not only write about pharmaceutical, I write about medical terms or medical terminologies or medical news. I cover current news stories. So, I get diverse areas because as I was interning, I got lot many information. I was not knowing many things, and I got to know about things. So this is a very good media to learn. If you're a person who wants to learn, who wants to uh, you know learn, who wants to learn new things day by day, then this works. Ability to inform public and contribute to the society by providing important news and information. So as a medical journalist, you are like a information giver, or you know you are engaging, your content is getting engaged in the public, so you're contributing to the society. So so this is one pro. Next is journalists are tasked with gathering facts and communicating these facts in a way that resonates with the audience. So you are researching, you're gathering the facts and communicating the facts. So communicating the facts in the sense, sometimes if you're unsure about certain topics, you can communicate with the subject matter experts and then put the facts in a way so that the audience might resonate with it, it make it easier for the audience to understand it. Next, you influence the target group. So, this can be, a kind of challenge as well, because you're influencing a target group. So you have to be very, very careful when you're writing, when you're choosing a topic, and when you're writing it out in the public. So, yes. Next. Next is more lateral entry in is possible without having the journalistic training. So it is a pro for a life science student or life science professional. You can not having a journalistic skills, but you can start as a medical writer and then gain your you can upskill your journalistic skills or writing skills. More flexible working hours, yes, you can work flexibly depending upon the agency you're working in and what type of role you're working in. This depends. Constant exchange of knowledge with experts, I think this is the you can highlight it and you can understand that You are talking to experts, you are sharing your experiences, they are sharing their experiences. So it's a constant exchange of knowledge and with the experts. So this is the pros of being a medical journalist or medical in medical journalism. Next, cons or challenges, I would say. So few stories has to be quickly produced in 24 hours, and that you know that might be challenging. And you have to gather relevant information, write, publish it, and compelling story with the time frame is there. So time frame is there. Next, it is earning less than a doctors in good position. It might be if you're in practicing it as a full time. It might be a then frequent freelance work instead of permanent employment. So these are the challenges, not the cons. These might be the challenges when you're working. So practice tips, verify information, research, avoid plagiarism. That is very important when you're writing. Adapt to the niche. If you're writing on a particular topic or particular, if you're interested in particular niche, you can write it. Know your audience. Avoid scientific jargon, analytics and SEO, copyright laws. Cite the references. So I think this is repeated, and I will not talk about again. I talk about this again. So next, coming to what is the difference between medical journalism and medical writing. So Manoj sir takes most of the webinars on medical writing. He informs about medical writing. So I'll be telling you what is the difference between medical journalism and medical writing. So medical journalism focuses on reporting medical news and trends to the general audience and healthcare professional. So it is like a journalism agency where here medical writing, it is a regulated document for healthcare professional researchers and regulatory bodies. It is very specific. Next is requires investigative nature to uncover and report the impactful stories. There, here there is a structured way, clear. It has to be presented clearly. The document has to be presented clearly. Next is critically evaluate evidence to create engaging content and wide to the wide public interest. So here you are making an engaging content to the public, where the content you are creating must be engaging because you are writing it to the public. But there it has a specific, interprets and organizes scientific data in technical documents such as clinical trial reports, protocols, and review articles. So there is something called a systematically you are writing technical. Technicality is there in medical writing. I wouldn't say it's not there in medical journalism, but you can. There is leniency in technicalities. Next year content is fast paced with the strict deadlines to the news publications. So you have to report, you know, on a certain day. There is content development. There is a time for intensive review process and intensive review. It has to be done, and then it has to be, you know, agreed. Next is commonly published online on social media or the news platforms, print media. Which is becoming commonly less. I would not, yeah, it's there, but most of the time we are either to the the social media and the news platforms, where um, the medical writing or the medical writing, whatever information it is published, uh, it is based on for the regulatory submissions or corporate documents. These are all the corporate documents. These are not published as in like the medical, the medical journalism or medical post in medical journalism. Next is writing style is accessible and engaging, tailored to inform or pursue a broader audience. So here it is accessible and engaging. You are writing in a simpler way, and you're tailoring the information and you're giving it to the broader information. Here, writing style has its technicality, and you're focused on into a specialized audience. In medical writing, also you have to reduce the medical jargon, but there is a certain community you're writing to, a specialized audience you're writing to. Here, it requires excellent writing skills and adaptability, not often more than a formal qualification. So, more than the formal qualification, it's important that if you're, we are good in writing, you are adaptable to writing. You can storytell, if you're good in storytelling, then it's for you. Medical writing, it requires a technical expertise and advanced qualification. Typically less financially rewarding than the writing profession. Yes, medical journalism, uh, you know might be financially less rewarding, while in medical writing it has a stable benefits, it has its own perks. Next, has the power to influence public opinion, must prioritize ethical responsibility. So since you are a journalist, you are at a responsibility, ethical responsibility, that you can influence the public opinion. So you have to be very careful, and you have to uphold the ethical uphold your ethical responsibility. So here in medical writing, it is regulation and ethical standards, which is standards in presenting the medical information. That is technicality, and it's different from medical journalism. So what is the future of medical journalism? So I think this people might be knowing. The first one is AI-driven data analysis. I think AI is becoming huge pro to the writing community, writers community. So this can be used creative delivery methods, because now it is coming, just not writing, just not putting it in the print media. If it's an interview, if it is creative videos, podcast, then people are more into this, like visual representation. If one medical information which is written on a paper media, if it is edited in a nicer way and put out in the social media, then it creates a more impact to the society. That can be done. Creative delivery methods, adapting to the digital trends. I think medical professionals have to have to uh, you know what is that, take this trajectory as well of adapting to the digital trends. Engagement with the audience. So if you're engaging with the audience, then it creates more interactions, and you can create a community driven what is that, impact or content, so making it more interactive and inclusive. Increased collaboration with journalists and scientists. So if you are collaborating with the journalist or the scientist, so the there is a broader way of delivering the news or music news. Expanding the influence of social media. So since social media is the you know nowadays it's used, even I use. So there are lot many doctors in on Instagram, on YouTube. They are delivering lot many medical informations. Maybe we are not aware of it, or many of them you watch, or I don't know. So there are many health professionals who are putting out the information on the Instagram, on the social media platforms, and this becomes also a source. As medical journalist, you can also impact in writing if you are interested in such delivering written blogs or video blogs. So this can be also a source. So next is I have to tell you, it's nice, this opportunity. I think as a newbie, getting this opportunity is something exciting for me as well. uh, I had a chance to interview Manoj sir. I think last month I had interviewed him last month, yes. And it was great chat with Manoj sir, and immediately, beginning it was like him interviewing me, but then I started interviewing him, and he told me that could you do this to the community, and I was like, no sir, it is just 3 months that I have completed. I was just doing my internship, and I'm not so confident enough to put it out to the on this online media. But he gave me a chance, and today, yes, I am here. It feels good. So if you want to read, it was a great chat. He has a I think uh, if you want to learn, you can do anything. I would say if you see Manoj sir, it's a great inspiration from you, sir, because he have taken in initiative in writing. He is a medical writer, and he is a digital strategist as well. He works for the digitalizing, because as healthcare professionals we are less onto digitalization. We are more into conventional methods only. So he is putting out this digitalization and pharmaceuticals, and is bringing an impact in the pharmaceutical industry, as well as this webinars he creates free. These webinars, it's nice to see him impact the society, and it was a great chat. So you can scan the QR and just check it out. Yes, QR, and you can read the very impactful for medical writers who are beginners, who are into medical writing, who want to learn about medical writing. So you can read this interview and you know create impact and get yourself informed about this. Yes, I would like to thank Manoj sir for this opportunity as well as for the interview as well. Yes, these are the references, and thank you.
Thank you
I
so
think
much,
there is a
Josna.
quote at
Excellent.
last. There's a quote at last: medical journalists are generally regarded as the gatekeepers of science. So we are the
Excellent.
gatekeepers of science. So yeah,
Yeah.
let's enhance
Science
the
and
society.
medicine. Science and
Yeah,
medicine
science
both.
and medicine. Yeah, science and medicine. Yes, that's
Yeah,
right.
absolutely. Science and medicine both. And excellent. Thank you so much, Josna. That was indeed a very, very, very informative and nice session. It
Thank you,
not
sir.
for a single moment I felt that you were doing this session for the first time. Definitely not. And definitely you are an inspiration to many pharmacy students uh, who don't even open their mouth to ask questions, right? And you spent
Yeah.
like 1.5 hours speaking on different aspects of medical journalism. That is great. And it takes a little bit of effort and confidence in yourself to do something like this, right? And of course, most of us have self-doubts. I'm not an exception. I had a lot of self-doubts when I first started doing all of this, but then it takes a little bit of time once you get, used to these kind of sessions and interactions. And your objective is only to help people, only to help other pharmacy students learn more about different career options, then it just becomes a lot easier. So excellent. Thank you so much, Josna. We'll just open up for a little bit of Q&A session. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to put in the chat box. I'll read out your questions to Josna. If you're comfortable to unmute and talk, you can raise your virtual hand on Zoom. You can just unmute and interact with Josna. That is perfectly fine. We love interacting. Josna has spent so much of hours to just interact with you. So definitely, I just want Josna to just get relaxed for maybe 1 minute. I'll take over the session from her now. I'll read out the questions, maybe interact with you all, and then she'll be back answering the questions. Josna, you may stop sharing the screen and
Yes.
let's just wait for some questions coming in from our participants. Let's hope some of them ask questions. If no one asks, then of course I have some questions for you. I'll ask those questions. And of course,
Yes, sir.
we'll take the conversation from there. All right. So there is this question coming in from Silpa. She says, can you suggest any similarity software interfaces equivalent to Turnitin with free version? You want to say something about that?
I do not know much about this, sir, so I wouldn't tell about this. Yeah,
Yeah,
softwares and all. Yeah.
no problem. So I have been dealing with a lot of software, so maybe I'll try to answer
Yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah.
So Silpa, please do not use any free softwares, especially if you are doing anything in medical writing. Medical journalism is still fine, no problem. But if you're doing anything for scientific research, publications, or medical writing, then these free softwares are of no much use. Why? Because when you upload the information to any of these free softwares, it becomes available for the general pool as well. Right. So anything which is available for the general pool, probably you would not want to use. Right. So that was my answer. So it's better to connect with some institutions who have subscription and they may help you out. That's option one. Option two is maybe you go for individual subscription. These days, individual subscriptions are not very expensive. And if you really want to use them, they definitely are useful. All right, so that was one question from her. Any more questions? Please feel free to ask. I have a question for you, Josna. So,
Yes,
in the
sir.
past, I have got a lot of queries, ever since I announced about this session. So, on LinkedIn, I got a lot of messages from people. Uh, the only question is, most of them, they want to learn for free, right? So, Do you suggest any free resources for learning medical journalism? How to get started?
Sir, first thing is I would suggest is it's important to take internships. There are available internships. I would say that's the very big huge source of learning, I would say. If
Hmm.
you're no, you can take up courses as well. There are courses in medical journalism, or if you go to YouTube, if you just check medical journalism, or if you're going to Google and searching medical journalism, you will get an overview of medical journalism.
Yeah,
But until and unless you practice it, you are just learning theoretically, I would say, because
absolutely.
this is my experience, I would say, because I was not knowing about how to format things, format in the sense how to present things. So when you're getting into medical agencies or something, it is important to understand, you'll get an overview of it. So if I were to suggest any publications, any agencies, I would suggest there is Clarity, there is Medbound Times. I think
Yeah,
they give internships, so they do not free of cost it is, and yeah, it is not it's not a paid internship. First, if when you're learning, you can't expect that at first go, so you have to do it for free. You have to learn, you have to upskill the things, and then you can go for the any of the where you can upskill, and you can show this experience and you can work somewhere else. So these are the two sources which I know, they offer free internships or something. Clarity is a good one. Medpont Times is also good one where they offer internships. Yes, you can try for it.
absolutely. So clarity is Clarity. That's the one.
Yes, yes, sir. Yeah,
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 okay,
absolutely right.
okay. So, okay. I have just put that in the chat box. Hopefully, they use it. They reach out to them. And these are all unpaid internships, right? And how long normally these internships are?
It depends on Medbound Times. It is about 4 months, and in
Hmm.
Clarity, maybe it is 6 months. I don't know. I'm not sure of it, but it is 6 months something, and it is worth it. They give you a certificate after you complete an internship, and if possible, then if you are good at it, and they may select you as a continuing as a medical paid
Yeah,
medical
yeah,
writers
yeah,
or content
yeah.
writers as well.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, good, excellent. So, do you have some resources which we can share with our participants later on, maybe after the session? Do you have something ready? Some PDFs or some resources which we can share
Resources are based on what, sir? Like,
for learning, or for practicing?
okay, I've not prepared those,
Yeah,
that,
yeah, I know.
yeah,
That's the reason I told after the session, maybe if you
yes,
share something later on, I'll put that as a link below this video on YouTube. So those
yeah,
who are interested, they can connect and then discuss. And of
yeah,
course, all
yeah,
the participants who are watching on YouTube and also on Zoom, if you want to connect to Josna, I'll put the link of her LinkedIn profile on the YouTube video. So please do connect with her as well and continue your learning. So Josna is very friendly and helpful. If you want to connect with her, definitely she's going to help you for, with whatever resources she has. Of course, we don't
yes,
prefer to share anything which is confidential and company proprietary, but whatever is available in the public domain, whatever we have compiled for your learning, we would do that as much as possible. And there are so many resources that we already have shared in the past on the YouTube and also on LinkedIn. Yeah. Excellent. So there is one question from Silpa again. Please suggest any healthcare blog those hire medical writers. All right. So I think we have already discussed much on this topic.
yes,
Over 45, 50 hours of content on medical writing already is there on YouTube. And I think almost all the speakers have suggested and shared those resources. So please check them out. There are a number of blogs. I think most of the pharma companies these days, they have blogs. And if you showcase your portfolio to them and if they like your work, you could definitely get connected to them. One of the most user-friendly and good one uh, that supports and gives you an option to write is Chemical Weekly. I always suggest their name. It's a Hyderabad-based company. They write content for pharmaceutical industry. And if you are from pharmacy or healthcare and interested to write something for them, they would love to, publish your work. And of course, they'll also give you a letter. of writing. So that can help you at least to secure some positions in pharmaceutical companies, and also to showcase, add that in your portfolio. See, the portfolio work is very important, right? I think every single speaker I have got on this channel has spoken about the importance of portfolio. And Josna has also again highlighted the importance of portfolio, right? She's been talking about that. She showcased so many of her article links. That itself is a portfolio. So if you are somebody who's listening to this, and if you want to get into either medical writing or medical journalism, then please start working on your portfolio. There are ample number of resources available on LinkedIn, YouTube, and all these, sessions that we have conducted so far. So, and also one of the, this tip I have not given earlier in on this channel, on this platform. So one of the tips I can suggest is when you watch any of the YouTube videos, you have the LinkedIn link of all the speakers just below the video. Just go connect with them and then take the conversation further. And most of the speakers who have come here, they want to help you, right? If you reach out to them properly, just don't say good morning and the next moment send the resume to them. It doesn't work that way. So first thing is you have to, build that relationship, interact with them, and then only you have to share the resume, right? Just no words, and then sometimes we get resumes. It just switches off automatically, right? It doesn't help. First, there should be some context, some interaction has to happen. How can we send just resume to anyone? The person is not going to do research for us and get us a job, right? First, we have to do that internal research, then send resume, and that is how it helps. All right, so I don't see any questions, Josna. You have anything to sum up this session?
Yes, sir. I have to add up another one now. Site Medical Dialogue. There is another
Yeah,
site, Medical
absolutely.
Dialogues.
Yes,
Yes,
medical
that
dialogues, it's a good
also,
one.
yeah, it's a good one, and it offers internships as well. Maybe there are offline internships, I guess. I don't know. It depends. I know it has to be seen in the site. So yes, I have to add up like later before you have mentioned that there is anxiety, social anxiety when you do these things. Even I was having for the first session, I was little bit anxious, and so this session made me a little bit open up because it gave me a confidence to build up and talk to people and understand. I do not know how many of them got help, how many got used from got information from to this media or to this webinar, but it helped me as well as a presenter to present well and to understand how to present, how to work. Sometimes this technicalities also should be kept in mind. So this also happens, technical glitch. So everything matters, and big thanks to you, sir, because your push, your initiative in organizing this webinar, impacted me as well to improve my confidence, as well as it helped others in the community who wants to start, if they are students, or they're still working, or they are doctors and want to turn into medical journalism or medical writing. So it helps, your resources help. So thank you so much for this opportunity, as well as I would like to thank the whole community who have joined to this session, the YouTube community and through Zoom who have joined. Thank you so much. My friends, maybe they have also joined. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for connecting with me. And yes, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Josna, for all the, interactive session that you shared, all the resources, all the learnings. All these learnings definitely help somebody, right? Maybe they may not know the importance of that help now, but then maybe once they get an opportunity, they work with some organization, they'll realize the importance. And maybe after a couple of years, they'll come back to us saying, this was the webinar that changed the thought process, and this was the
Yes,
webinar
yes,
that helped.
similar thing. I
Yeah.
had told you, sir, because
Yeah.
I mentioned that every time. Because I got to know about medical writing through Manoj sir's video. So I came into medical writing through Manoj sir's video, and today I am here doing a webinar in Manoj sir's, the session that comes, has a smaller win. I would say I celebrate the small win for myself, and it's great. It's a pleasure to be, it's nice. Sir. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Josna, and I'll interact with you back again after the session, and we'll compile a good number of resources and share back with all of them who have interacted
Yes, sir.
with us. And we'll
Okay.
share that on LinkedIn as well so that, our connections and team can also, get that information.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Vaishnavi
sir.
wants to ask a question. Yes, Vaishnavi, go for it. If you want to put in the chat box, yes, you can. Or if you want to unmute and talk, that is also perfectly fine. You can interact, no problem.
Hi, sir. Hi, Josna. Uh,
Hello.
yeah, I was just wanted to know about the internship more. Like, how can I apply? How can I get into it? I don't know about medical journalism. I'm very much new to this field. So I'm thinking to go to an internship, learn more about it. So how can I get into it?
Yes, you can check their websites. As I mentioned, three of the the
Yeah,
sites
yeah.
where the agencies. You can. I think Medbound Times they might have the openings in next 4 months. Like they do it like that. 4 months internship, and the next 4 months they hire few other interns. So maybe you have to wait for 4 months, and then you can get into Medbound Times. I suggest. Clarity and you can just check the openings. I do not know about the openings and all,
Okay.
but yeah, it offers the internships. You can check in LinkedIn. You can there is you check medical communication agencies or something. Put the keywords and you just check. There are a lot many medical
Yeah,
communication agencies
there are
that
many,
works
there are
out.
many. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
There are
yeah.
So I'm
many.
also compiling a list. Thanks for the question, Vaishnavi. I'm
Yeah,
also
any
in the
interviews in the internships or how do they select?
Yeah, so I'll tell you
Uh,
how they work. Most of the interviews in medical writing, medical communications, medical journalism, how it works is they'll give you a topic, they'll ask you to write on that, and
Okay.
they'll evaluate your writing, your understanding, your research capabilities, and all of that.
Okay.
In all the communication agencies, this is how they work. If you have a portfolio ready, definitely it helps. It reduces the burden of interview for sure. But then if you don't have a portfolio, then everything begins from the start, right, from the scratch. So
Okay.
writing has to be done. Without writing, there is no further going.
Yeah, yeah.
Even after 17 years, if I apply for a company now, they'll ask me to do a research, do
Yes,
a
yes.
writing sample, and then submit it to them because they want to understand
Yeah, yeah.
what I can do for them, right? For any company, all that matters is what we can do for the organization. What we have done is of no much importance to the company. What is
Yeah.
our qualification again is not much of importance to the company. All they want is what we can do for the company, how we can solve a particular problem of the company, how we can help their brand, product or services to grow. Right, that's all they want. So as
Okay.
long as your services, your expertise, your qualifications solve this problem, you are there. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So perfect. So thank you so much, Vaishnavi. Thank you so much,
Thank
Josna,
you,
for
sir.
being here in the session. And I'll share the replay of the session to you. You may again rewatch it if you want, or you can share with your friends as well. And we'll have one more
yes,
session
sir.
very soon. And all the resources related to internships will compile and then we'll share back with you. So we'll do the hard part for you. So your work becomes easier. And in the process, we learn, right? Anything and everything we do, definitely we learn. Today I made so much of notes. I'll be sharing those notes tomorrow on LinkedIn. So please watch it and I'll tag Josna also. And all of you can again add points if you learned something from there. Next, 15th of February, we'll be learning about the importance of AI tools for career and growth. So if you're somebody who's interested in your personal and professional growth, please join me on 15th of February and then let's continue to learn together. Thank you so much, Josna, and thank you everyone for on Zoom and also on YouTube. Thank you very much, and I wish you a wonderful weekend ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.